Radio Zero with Rick and Rose on Winter Solstice Eve. Really? Is it Winter Solstice Eve? Didn't the Winter Solstice already happen?
No.
Oh, okay. Friday, December 20th.
There's your answer.
2020. Yeah, it's weird.
I think
2024.
It's actually early this morning.
So
right?
Wait, the solstice is not when the days start getting longer afterwards, is it?
Yes.
But that's what I thought it was. But I thought, all right, so somebody jumped the gun on the radio, I think.
Well, I don't know. Maybe today. Yeah, I mean, tonight is, I think this is the shortest
night?
day.
The shortest day.
And the longest night.
Okay.
I think it, right? I mean, when do you mark it?
Yeah, I thought, well, yeah, I know. Well,
right?
It's probably.
How does that work? I looked it up, and so it said that it was the morning of the 21st. So, but I don't know what that means. Like,
well,
that would be the point where you're
you're the furthest from the.
Yeah, so it's
depending on. Okay, now I have to click on
later tonight, early tomorrow morning, early in the morning.
Close caption off, and then I click on this, and I just sorry. Oh.
We're live streaming. So we try to live stream every other week, Friday, 5 p.m. Central. So you can check out the live stream on Facebook on the Radio Zero page or the Poster Children page on Twitch at PCJCUSA and on the Poster Children YouTube channel. But you can also listen to this as a podcast. You can subscribe to the podcast through Apple, Spotify. Go to radiozero.us. If you're an RSS feed person, you can patronize us at patreon.com/RadioZero. Thanks to our patrons.
And if you're on live with us, like if you're listening to us live while we're streaming, you can write comments like our regulars do, and I'll respond to them. I'll read them.
And the problem is that I think so. It almost looks like occasionally somebody will comment on Twitch or comment on YouTube, but you're not looking at that, right?
No, I should be. What's
so that's
what's
the problem.
Twitch? Yeah, I better.
I don't know how to.
That.
And so I don't think this software. Oh, maybe it does. Chat.
So if I go
does
on
the
Twitch?
Chat? No. See, this is the thing: is I should somehow have this set up where we could have a centralized chat going. But
yeah, just like WFMU does, right? So wait, I'm on Twitch now. If I went to Poster Children, I would see. Are we Poster Children on Twitch?
PCJC USA. As
PCJC
at the beginning of
USA. I don't ever listen to you. 0 viewers. Oh, look at that. Okay. All right. Now
so
I've opened that up. Okay.
So that's what I'm not sure about.
Cool. Yeah. So if you try to, I'll try to stream you on the stream chat. If you talk, and then Wilhelm Richter says,
yeah. So
greetings from Pennsylvania.
I can see that. So I'm able to.
Now?
The only problem is I'm also seeing on Restream. I'm seeing So this is why I'm talking even more like a blithering idiot, is because I'm seeing a delayed version of us talking, but I can see all the chats. It does have a combined thing.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, that's cool.
All right.
But I got to figure out a way to look at this without looking at myself running.
Wilhelm, Pennsylvania is a very big place, so you need to tell us. Well, you don't have to tell us where. It's Pennsylvania. Okay. So we have an agenda today.
Why can I not close this window? I don't want to see. So irritating.
I know. That's my life. Welcome to my life.
Yeah.
I see myself delayed all the time. Like even in real life when we're not doing this podcast.
Ooh, chat overlay? What do you think?
I don't know.
That might do it. Ooh. God damn it.
Okay.
All right, sorry.
Let's just start talking. So we've known about Joe's passing, Joe Summerall's passing for a little while. I have no words. He was part of the Poster Children, he was part of all that music, that Poster Kids in such a way that so involved in it and had such beautiful things to say about it that he, I think while I was writing this book, I asked for, people to contribute to it, and he contributed to it. Like, I have a page and a half of his writing here. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's 2.5 pages. It's beautiful. And he recorded here. Do you?
Not here in Champaign when we lived in
right.
Champaign. The Hit Commission, and they opened for us. And one of my favorite local band songs. Like literally, it's a song about, what is it? I can't remember now. The chorus is "Watch the local band fail." Just recently, maybe in the past 10 years, transferred the recordings, and they were remixed and reissued. The Hit Commission on Bandcamp. Local Band Fails, I believe, is one of my favorite local band songs.
I think, is it okay if I read?
Sure.
If I read this? Okay.
Or we could just sit here and not.
I actually don't know if I can read this. I'm going to try. All right. So an email from Joe 2.0 about alt.music.posterkids. Monday, June 19th, 2017, Joe Summerall. And then he's got a Gmail account. It looks like, of course. This was in 2017. He wrote, I discovered Poster Children in junior, and then he has in parentheses Citizen High from my friend who had older brothers. By high school, I had made other friends who also liked Poster Children. Not an anomaly exactly. We lived in between Chicago and Champaign, and UIUC was the school of choice. This was right at the time of the crest of the band's, quote, commercial success. Thank you for putting that in quotes. And he was a writer, my God. I went to Lollapalooza in hopes of seeing them, but it was a touring production, and cruelly, Poster Children did not play the Illinois stop. We certainly didn't, because we were good people.
We go.
We were asked to, we were invited, but we had another show that same day that we could not, in Tennessee, and we could not cancel it. All right. I collected CDs where I could find them, the first being the Just Like You EP. It was a scorcher. I was into punk rock, but punk rock, ironically, has the most rules. And this record set outside all of the constructs of punk rock, but was still punk as fuck, but smarter. The angular guitars, this is like all about us, angular guitars and nerdy vocals of Sick of It All appealed to my nerdy academic self, and it managed to rock so much that at the same time. I was listening to Sonic Youth by then, but the noise solo in Tell Me What You Want was a revelation. But the lead track, Not Like You, was my anthem. As a judgmental, angsty punk teen, I couldn't get enough of looking at people around me and thinking, and this is in asterisks, I'm not like you. My friends and I drove to the Metro in Chicago to see Poster Children for the first time 20 years ago. We camped out in the first row through two opening bands, and my best friend swooned when Rose touched his hand, giving out cassette singles from the opening act summer camp. He claimed he would never wash his hand again. New to the adult rock show scene, I got annoyed by the surrounding audience. Is it the Metro? Is that what you said?
Wow. So when we played at the Metro, was that with Failure also? Summer camp?
Maybe.
Summer
was
camp?
Giving out summer camp. Not Summer Camp the festival, Summer Camp the band.
But when we toured with Summer Camp, it was with Failure, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I was just giving out. Anyway, Some drunk... All right, so we got annoyed by the surrounding audience. Some drunk girl, some guy smoking a joint, and then he thinks, to himself, I'm not like you. He's saying that. When the crowd was at full tilt, the band launched into my anthem, and it was almost ruined by a big muscled meathead bro smashing into me. Around the time that the chorus changes from, quote, I'm not like you to I'm just like you, I saw a junior citizen tattoo on the arm of this guy that I had written off as a lunkhead frat bro. It moved me so much that I wrote the band an email to share my story. So, isn't that that maybe we all have that. I love that. The thinking that, this guy's an asshole, and then there's oh my, he's not like me at all. He's just some other person. And then it's oh wait, this guy got a tattoo of the band that I like, It's so beautiful. So then something crazy happened. Rose wrote back, the internet was still young and even major companies didn't have websites. There wasn't much to do with this new technology, but Poster Children not only had a presence, but an album with an interactive CD-ROM. I'm not sure how I found out about the listserv, probably the website. I signed up immediately. After lurking for a few days, I realized there was an established Joe, so I introduced myself as Joe 2.0, thinking that it fit with the band's brainy sensibilities. Essentially a group chat via email. I would get hit at times with hundreds of emails a day, and it was fascinating. Of course, we talked about the band. You weren't supposed to. But most of the discussion was about everything else, our bands, our lives. It didn't take long until I felt connected to a lot of people on the listserv. I was turned onto music I would never have found. Oddly, a regional band led me to support non-regional bands in a way that wasn't typical before. I discovered Poster Children because I lived in Illinois and they hailed from Champaign, Illinois. But now I could learn about the hidden gems from all over. Our fanaticism eventually led to a tribute concert, or as we called it, Pecan. Enough of us had bands that we organized sets at the Gallery Cabaret in Chicago. Each band or person played a Poster Children song. My band, Candygram, chose Dreams Small. That's how I got my greatest guitar lesson. Oh, this is the part about you, Rick. I emailed Rick as the band had proved accessible. I did not realize he was more misanthropic than Rose, but most are, right? So I asked for the chords and never got a response. And there's a footnote in the book here, which I think it says Rick is horrified by reading this.
I have the email still, and I don't understand why I didn't write back.
Yeah. Well, he asked for chords, and you were probably like, "Why would anybody want my chords?" Right?
No, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've always been really good at, but maybe I haven't. It really upsets me.
Anyway, that's my footnote. I'm not going to look for the footnote now, but it says that you're upset about it. That's
Still
how
upset about it.
So he says, "That's how I got my greatest." Oh yeah, I emailed Rick. So I asked for the chords and never got a response. While waiting, I worked it out on my own, and I've been able to do so ever since. The Poster Children show that was the hub of Pecan was a terrific time, and it was great to put a face to folks I've interacted with for years. A tribute show was a bit more Dr. Awkward. This is another music.poster kids fan, just because we were playing a set, one band at a time, for an audience who outside of ourselves was not interested. Later, while attending school in Champaign, I worked at a video store. There were places you could go and rent VHS and DVD and Laserdisc movies. This one was very good. So that's
Rentertainment. Yeah, you worked at Rentertainment.
Yeah. This one was very good, so Rick and Rose frequented. I introduced myself and eventually asked if Rick would record my band. He did, and it was a fantastic experience. They played our song on their podcast and asked us to open for them. So to be clear, after seeing my favorite band when I was 17, I got to record with and open for them for a few years later, and I'm not the only one. The listserv eventually petered off. I'm going to start crying now. Are you crying already?
No,
okay,
I'm
good.
mad at my
All right.
1997 Rick.
Rick and Rose were growing a family, and the band became dormant. The internet was changing quickly, and no one wanted a chat room in their inbox. Zach from our former band told me to get on the Electrical Audio Forum. It had the same balance of rock talk with an anything goes level of discussion, and similarly forged a community atmosphere, which resulted in a strong and organic society for underground rock that has managed to stretch much further. The community has grown into multiple local festivals that highlight members, bands, and friendships that don't fall into the category of it's a friend from the internet. When asking for travel advice, I had a forum member reach out saying he lived in Amsterdam and we could meet up. We spent the whole day with him, and he regularly buys my wife teaching supplies and sends gifts to our children. We spent one day with Martin, and he lives on the other side of the world, but he's our rock buddy. I consider it a gift brought on by the culture of the listserv. It seems appropriate that Poster Children were able to play a PRF barbecue. There are still fights and drama, but as we've all learned the language of the internet courtesy, the heart of the concept has grown into something that I'm happy to be part of. I'll forever link Poster Children with technology. In the case of the listserv in particular, there's a movement that deserves great credit, and they got the ball rolling.
It's nice.
I really like the part of where he writes about, just kind of, because this happens all the time. You see somebody and you're like, what the hell's the matter with that person? And then like you find out what's the matter with them, and it's nothing. It's and I mean, do you want to say anything about the song Just Like You?
What to say about it?
What's it about? You have just I'm not like you, I'm just like you. How it's
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's So it's newer than that. Newer. It's a 25-year-old song, right? 20, 30-year-olds. No, apparently it's closer to a 30-year-old song, as I've realized. Well, I mean, I think it's characteristic of a song that like a song like If You See K is just negative, right? Or attacking, I guess. And then after, like pretty soon after that, I decided I wasn't going to write black and white songs, right? And so so it's just one of those songs where it's like, oh, it's all about, feeling separated and being different, or I guess, sort of maybe even being elitist or something, but then realizing that's, sort of the outsider perspective, but then you're also, someone who feels outside, feels like they're separated or being cast away, right? But then the idea is well, you're also doing that. You're sort of separating and isolating, and then just saying you're the same. You're just like another person, but that seems negative, and I don't think that's what it is. It's just more, I guess it's more empathy, and then, just having that switch. I think that's what that song's about.
I was like talking about systems thinking today. Like I was talking to I don't remember who I was talking to Jody about it. Just like when you don't totally understand what's like, you don't see the big picture, right? You don't see like there's always a bigger picture, right? And so systems thinking was like some book that came out like, I don't know, 10 years ago or something like that. That I remember, making our students read. Like it was the pre-design thinking, right?
30 years ago, yeah.
30 years ago. Oh, sorry.
Probably also, yeah.
I don't know. Well,
anyways, go on.
But just kind of like when like just kind of looking into the bigger picture of stuff. I guess that's what I was talking about. And just like, you see something like from where I sit, I'm going to talk about my job for a minute. Like from where I sit, I can see above me and below me, right? I can see like the people who I'm supposed, like student, not that people are below me, but like the people who I'm supposed to take care of, and then the people who I am supposed to, trust and listen to, right? And I understand. So the people who the people above me who I trust and listen to will tell me things like, hey, you have to do this, you have to do that. And I can either like be like, what the hell? Well, I don't trust this person at all. Or I can like kind of trust and understand, and I've been given enough of the vision of what's going on, in the whole system that like I understand what's going on and why they're asking me to do these things, whereas like, I guess, and then when I have to ask people to do certain things, and then I have to decide how much to tell them, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But if you it seems like if you have a bigger picture on how everything works, then you understand why Trump is president.
I'm trying to understand, first off, well, I'm upset about not responding to Joe's email, but then also the fact that there was this show where these bands got together and each band played one of our songs, and why I don't even remember
we let that
and,
happen.
And well, no, but then why we didn't go?
No, were we there? Or did they not invite? We went to something where people were playing or
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I just don't remember it.
Yeah.
And then thinking about me being a misanthrope, which I don't think I am. I'm sad that's but maybe I am.
I think it's just a word. Like it's a funny word.
It is. no, in that context, but I worry
Yeah,
about
more misanthropic than Rose.
Yes.
Like, so that means that means that I'm misanthropic. I don't have any problem being
No, it does not mean that. It means that you're who and it
even
it's
more misanthropic than Rose.
Who isn't, right? So it's saying that you're no. I don't think it has anything to do with you being misanthropic.
I mean, whenever anyways, it's possible you were busy or something too, and then it just got buried in your inbox, right?
Yeah, I can't believe I was that busy.
Have you ever sent guitar chords to? Because people ask me for bass tracks. I have. I've never sent bass tracks to people.
Well, but I have. Yeah, no.
Oh,
people have asked.
All right. Well,
what's odd is that it's either He's My Star or and then Dream Small is very similar construct, fingering. That's the thing, is Dream Small doesn't have, it has 2 chords, right? Does it have a third chord?
I don't know if it has a second chord.
Well, it's kind of, it's, I guess, what is that, a modulation? Yeah, I guess it is a single chord. Yeah.
I mean, it's only got one bass note. So do you want to go get a? You want to get a?
I move my finger.
Yeah. Well, I have this.
So to me, it's similar to He's My Star with one bass note missing. Like for me, bass note. Like I guess that would be a modulation, huh?
Do you want to go get a guitar? I keep saying violin. You want to go get a guitar and show us? Yeah. Okay. No. I just play D. Dun 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 dun. Okay. Well, that.
Yeah, I know. But anyways, yeah. And so the other thing is that you can't see it here. It's up there. There's a beer bottle. Shower plower. No, you don't have to go up and get it.
Okay. All right.
Shower plower, which was Joe, I believe. Yeah, he sent us. It was his a beer he made, and it's got a kind of reference. The label references the Flower Plower record.
Yes, it says shower plower.
Yeah,
like
and
beer.
It's been up there for a long time.
Yeah, maybe we should drink it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been up there for a long time.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to drink it because we don't drink.
Yeah, well, beer doesn't age well, right? That's It's not like wine, right?
We can give it to one of our kids.
I think the only problem, we should probably open and empty it so it doesn't explode at some point, right?
Oh, yeah. As the world gets hotter. I think there's a potential, for explosion. Yeah.
But
we'll open it later. How come we haven't opened it?
Well, because there's no. Well, we did. It's. I don't know.
We should definitely open it. Okay. I mean, you're gonna like sit and think that you were mean to a fan, but I think
I'm not saying I was mean. I'm just upset with upset for not responding to the email.
Well, you recorded the band.
Oh yeah, no.
You hung out with
great.
them.
Yeah. And it gave me a Jar Jar Binks cardboard stand up from. That's for entertainment.
It's still upstairs.
Yep, still in the attic.
Yeah.
Terrifying generations.
Yeah. We should put that in the window too.
We used to have it in the window. It's been taken was taken out of the window. But yeah.
Probably because I wanted to open the window. We should put it back in there. We should totally put it back in. We'll do that. And then you guys we can be like the American football house. It'll be the Jar Jar Binks house. 46 miles west of the American football, probably more like 52 miles west of the American football house will be the Jar Jar Binks house. You can stand in front of our house and take a picture of it. Our house does kind of look like the American football house. Well, I mean, it's pointy.
It's
white.
Pointy. White, yeah.
All right. That reminds me, I need to get in touch with those guys too. All right. So, we were talking about. I was just about to talk about bass lines, so I'll just let loose here. This has been my life this week. Has been the punk rock bass players forum. The punk rock bass. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you're one of the 57,000 people on it, or however many people. There's over 50,000 people on this thing. So I joined
and
on Facebook. Sorry, should I look now?
And so. This is the problem I have. There are 50,000 bass players.
I know. Yeah. So let me look here. The punk rock. How do I search for it? Punk. I don't have to search for it because it's just constantly. Let's see how many people are on it now. Punk rock bass players. 53,000.1. 53,100 members in this punk rock bass players forum. And it's like I joined maybe 30,000 people in. Actually, and Wilhelm says that they're from Central Pennsylvania, and he's been putting up photos of the band from the 90s in Wisconsin and Philly. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, the Punk Rock Bass Players Forum. So people are introducing themselves. Hi, I'm whoever, and I play bass and stuff. And then people are like, oh, you're so cool. Oh, that's great. And then once in a while, like some famous person like says, hey, I'm Tony Ash, from all the bands that I play with. And here's a picture of me and stuff. So I'm like looking, I'm like, this is so cool, and I'm more and more, I'm like more and more enjoying it. It's so neat, and everybody's so supportive of each other because they're bass players, and they just, they're bass players. They don't stick out. They're not like, they hold the band together, man, like a rug, So I finally decided, okay, I gathered some pictures up of myself, and I'm going to introduce myself and talk about how great it is. So I did that. I put the Tarek picture where you can't see my face, and then I put another picture of me bending over backwards with you in it. And then the third picture, I think, was like a picture of me. I figured there should be a picture of the person's face, so I put a picture of me with my face, at Electrical Audio. I'm like smiling like a geek. So I put that, and I'm like, hello, everybody. I really enjoy this. And I got likes and likes and likes, and I got like over 100 likes, and I was like, this is so cool, wow, this is neat. And then and people were like, people stuck their, pictures that they've taken with me up there, and I try to respond to every one of them, and that's really cool. And then it moved on, and so there's more and more. And then, I don't know. I think there's some other bass players that I absolutely love on there too. And then Kim Coletta from Jawbox puts her picture up, and she's like, "Hey, everybody! I love this forum. This is great, and stuff." And then, and in the second paragraph, she tags me. She's like, "My hero is Rose from Poster Children," and I'm like, oh my God, how generous, what a wonderful thing for somebody to tag me, and I felt bad for all the bass players that she didn't tag, and I was just like, oh, that's so neat. But so I'm watching this, and there's more and more people going on this forum now. So like 20,000 more people on there. She's got something like 5,000 likes on here. So when she had like a couple hundred more than me, I was like, Jesus Christ. This is great. Jawbox is so huge and stuff like that. But now she's got like every 1,000 likes, somebody tags me and goes, Rose, did you see this? And so then I have to respond. And then on top of it, it's just people just going ape shit. I did not know that Jawbox was so popular. And it makes me sad because I feel like I should be hearing them all the time, And then I went to, so every 1,000 likes I get, and people are like, look at this, Rose was tagged. And then I have to respond and stuff like that. But then I was like, at some point I was like, I should find, first of all, I was like, oh, we should put Heidi up there, Heidi Orr. And then I think Barb Schilf introduced herself too. And then I started thinking about people just comparing how many likes they get to other people's likes and stuff. And then I was thinking do guys get as many likes as the girls? And what pictures get more likes and stuff. And then it was making me crazy. And then at some point in the middle of it, I was like, I should go find out what I wrote in my book about Kim. And just quote it there, because I figured I probably had written something really wonderful about her. And there's nothing in my book about Kim Coletta.
Oh.
Nothing. She's not in the index. I look her up in the index. There's nothing.
Nothing about Jawbox?
Oh. I didn't look. Now I can look. I'll look.
I think you focused on Midwest.
That's what I did, and then I decided that she wasn't Midwest.
She wasn't.
She's like, I had to cut her off, but no, there's not even Jawbox not even in here. Jawbox is not even in here. What the fuck, man? I got Jesus. Goes from Jesus Lizard to Junior Citizen to David Kahn.
You did edit the book down.
I did. I know. I've got all
substantially.
kinds of stuff. I'm sure I've got all kinds of stuff about. So then I was going to write. Oh, I got to write a whole new book about Kim, but I was just so depressed about this whole thing. like there's and the thing is that I wrote about Kim Gordon too. I know I wrote about Kim Gordon and I wrote about Kim Deal, but there's no Kim Coletta. And I always see her. She's always in DC when we're there and stuff, and she's like always comes to our shows and stuff, and she's so sweet and she's so fantastic, So anyway, it's good. It's I'm humbled that I was tagged. And that's I guess that's all I can say, And I'm trying to figure out what to post on there. Oh, so Ryan Andrew Adams here says Nick Oliveri posted recently. Somebody posted Shannon's cow singing with Flipper.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, I can see other, like on YouTube, Whitney says hello.
Oh, hello.
Says hey, and says, like, the universe is a system. I cannot see all the factors. So I can now see other.
I can see
so
everything.
Not just Facebook.
Yeah.
So you can see just the Facebook.
Yeah.
Poster children?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see all feeds.
I can see all feeds.
Mm-hmm.
So Kim, I can talk a little bit about Job. Like, do you remember when we met them? Did we stay at their house?
We stayed at Jay's house.
Okay. And he
was working on the cover art for the first record. I remember.
Yeah.
He was doing photo ready, so it was still photo ready artwork.
Remember when they all dressed up in like tuxedos, or like they all dressed formally and stuff, like for a while, like right after they signed to.
Yeah, actually, so that was in New York. Yeah, that show. And by the way, I did look it up, and it does look like we played with Failure in Chicago, so we must have done the local band headlines at the Metro when we played with Failure,
like we headlined over Failure.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we played, and it was in New York. It must have been CMJ with that one of the times we played with Jawbox. The one you're talking about where they had the suits. That was, CMJ, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, and she was fantastic. Yeah, I feel bad because I'm always like, oh, our three bass sisters, me and Barb and even, oh my God, did I write about Candace too? Probably wrote about Candace too because I know Candace wrote in my book. Like they all wrote in my book, and I just don't have Kim at all. So,
but yeah, Candace was Midwest too.
Yeah.
I think you drew a line.
That's what I did.
You drew a line. It was when you were making the book. You were trying to make the book more documenting the Midwest
Midwest,
scene.
right? Yeah. So she's not. So, but anyway, thanks, Kim, for tagging me.
Well, now I can't find the.
Write a book about her.
Okay. So we definitely played with Jawbox at City Gardens. But that was New Jersey. But I can't find the New York show. But I feel like we played CMJ.
Mm.
So no, but we played a bunch of shows in '94, 5 shows in Lafayette.
Oh, with them?
Jawbox and Pegboy, and then in Houston with Jawbox, and then in Dallas with Jawbox and John Spencer, Blues Explosion.
Oh,
and then Emos with John Spencer, Blues Explosion.
We have a poster with us and Jawbox and John Spencer, Blues Explosion. Yeah, in the bathroom. Yeah, it's a nice poster. Yeah. Anyway, they're fantastic. Okay. Well, I'll have to go back on the bass players forum and see. But then it was just like overwhelming. Like my whole Facebook feed is just all bass players forum.
And by the way, those Jawbox John Spencer shows were 30 years ago, 1994.
That's fine.
November of 1994. Just to let you know how old we are and how long ago that was.
People are posting like real sexy pictures of themselves too. Here's one that's got,
bass players.
Yeah, bass player, sexy
really?
Bass player, lady.
That's a surprise.
Sexy lady bass player. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm just trying to make. Okay, here it is. November 3rd, 1993, Irving Plaza.
Right, we played Irving Plaza with them. I remember that.
Brainiac, Girls
Jesus.
Against Boys, Jawbox, Poster Children.
How the fuck did we get on that
It's
show?
a CMJ show.
Oh, that explains it. I'm looking at Kim's picture here now too. She looks adorable. So everybody go look at the Bass Players Forum and join it because there's not enough people on it. It is so much. I like my next post. I think I'm gonna put up a picture of my Travis Bean and show the crack in it where I broke it or something. I guess maybe.
And so what's crazy is now I'm looking. So the couple days before we played CMJ Irving Plaza, played the Middle East with Six Finger Satellite and Hardship Post, which I don't remember playing with Hardship Post before we did those shows
in
with Hardship
Canada,
Post in Canada, but we
which will
did.
never be mentioned.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then Six Finger Satellite at Lehigh, right? So
Yeah.
there's, yeah.
That was
And
a
then
good band. Holy
we played
shit.
a bunch of shows, or a couple more shows with Six Finger Satellite in Buffalo and Cleveland after that. Crazy.
Okay. All right. That's enough reminiscence. So, all right. So that's the Bass Player Forum, which has taken up like my whole Facebook feed for like, I can't look at anything. It's just all Bass Player Forum and people. And then you want to answer people too. Like, try to answer everybody because everybody's so nice on there. All right. So what else we got? Let's talk about Luigisus.
All right.
It's either that or President Elon. I don't want to talk about. I don't even know. All right. So murder is wrong. But it's still wrong. It's very wrong. But in certain cases, no. How can you describe what the fuck's been going on our family Facebook feed then? Because I didn't know that they knew who it was. Like I get all my news from our family, not Facebook feed. Sorry, our family WhatsApp. And like the first thing was like Graham posting his backpack, a picture of his backpack, right?
Yeah, and we talked about this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So this is all.
So the backpack, it's kind of like there's a lot on our family WhatsApp about Luigi Mangione.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about it?
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that that the change through violence, I do believe that progressive change, or if you're progressive, that nonviolence, change through nonviolence
You're a
is
pacifist.
more progressive. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm disappointed. I understand. Again, like I said before, there's systemic violence, and then there's individual violence, right? And so I understand the anger about just the corrupt healthcare system that we have, and insurance system, right?
Where there's so many people there's no end to the stories of people being fucked over by insurance companies, right? No end.
Yeah.
Everybody.
And
I've been fucked over, and not even bad. I've been fucked over.
yeah, it's a terrible system. And it's, the embodiment of the problem with free, sort of the free market, or, social Darwinism, which is like, oh yeah, if you can't afford, or, it's like, oh, well, people are dying, and so the system will regulate itself. And so I guess that's the argument for, the political, violence is that the only thing this system understands is money and murder or death, right? the free market, especially when it's around healthcare, right? If it's self-regulating, right?
Yeah.
The self-regulation is around death, right? Life and death.
Well,
and that's
it's not-
unfortunate
Yeah.
and wrong, and it should not be the case. And so that's bad. But I'm not happy. I'm not happy with murder as a solution to our problems, or at least an answer. But that's, I don't know what to say.
He was a computer scientist.
Well,
like us. I know it's so terrible. It's so like the and then the pictures of him, and then all the memes. That's what struck me this over the past 2 weeks. It's just the memes of like, I understood those references. Like it's like pictures of like just of things happening, like people going, oh, I'm so happy that I got to hang out with my friend Luigi Mangione on December 4th at, from the hours of blah, blah, blah. It's like people providing alibis for him, and like really, really funny, like tons of them. Even I saw them, and I don't usually see memes.
yeah. Yeah.
And then Rebecca Solnit this morning like posts a picture of him being, like walking with the police. He's handcuffed, I think, in like an orange suit, and just like compares it to. She's like, I'm not going to make a comparison to Jesus here. What I'm going to do is compare like the staging of this to like the Last Supper and like other religious, like there's like historic, like art history pictures of like Jesus, and like just juxtaposing them, like having them next to this picture of Luigi Mangione.
And that's just composition, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it's her composition, it's her curation of this.
You could also say it's, Kubrickian, right? The centered. Yeah.
You could, but there's no fun in that. You can, but it's not as fun as comparing him to Jesus, who's going to die for our sins.
Yeah. And I guess the thing is though, I mean, you're comparing him to Jesus, but at least to me, the concept of Jesus is that he was a victim of systemic violence, right? The system, right? Crucified in the form of corporal punishment of that era, right? And so, but he did not preach, and he was not a person of violence, was not a vigilante, right? Didn't preach that as a solution to the sort of disparity in society.
I haven't read the manifesto.
And there's
you wrote handwritten manifesto ! Point.
Yeah, totally.
Why did you write that?
Because to me that's so, seeing that he had read the Unabomber manifesto, right, and then had also written, had written out something, in preparation, but also, and so. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about the Unabomber, is like a lot of what he was talking about was valid, questions about how the military-industrial complex, or just modern society, was, basically, destroying the world, right? So valid stuff, but as a rationale for violence, right? So you can people rationalize war, people rationalize genocide, people rationalize, they use these things. Like if you think about, the Civil War and the abolitionist movement, and then the Confederates, the argument for slavery, right? They both rationalized, and they both used, Christianity and the Bible, as rationales for their sides, and their arguments, and some people use that as justification for violence, right? On both sides, right? And so whether or not your message and your viewpoint or your position is correct or valid or humane, I guess my problem is using it as a rationale for violence, right? And so to me, it's kind of like that's disappointing, but then then the question is well, yeah, can you do it? Can any change happen without violence? And that's, thin red line stuff,
Oh,
right?
did you watch that already?
No, I haven't watched it again. But that whole philosophy is like, are we inherently violent, as a species or, and I guess we are, but as animals, but then it's like, oh, can we move beyond this and can we,
Well, so
run our world without murder and death and violence being a core component,
core value.
Core value. Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's not a core value. You're not supposed to kill anybody, right? So maybe he can get off on like a crazy charge. Maybe he's insane, right? What's the argument like?
Yeah, I mean that's Hinckley, right? So he was a rich kid, right? Father ran what's the
These are going to be things I don't
Christian world global, it was world something, Christian
not coalition.
What's it called? Charity type
okay.
organization, had connections to the Bush family. Was John Hinckley was a member of the elite and rich and got right? He didn't he was. Am I confusing him
insanity.
with? Yeah.
I don't remember. And then my joke this morning was, can't Trump add him to his cabinet? Would Trump be for him or anti?
No, he killed a CEO.
Okay.
It's like, yeah.
I kind of feel like Trump would be totally for him if the right person told him to be for him. Like if Elon was like, hey, he could pardon him, right? He could pardon.
I just can't see.
Chuck.
I can't see members of the oligarchy. Feeling like this kid was on their side.
They'd be angry at him.
Yeah, totally.
Even
totally
Elon?
terrified. Elon,
okay.
has got, his he's going to have to bulletproof his Cybertruck,
So why do you have? All right. So I guess we're done talking about Luigisus. I just, I saw that picture and I was like, I had to look closer because he's kind of cute. I'm sorry. In like a Jesus sort of way.
And even that, talking about Jesus, and when you're saying cute Jesus, you're picturing.
I know, cute in a white Jesus sort of way,
white,
even though he's not
bearded,
white. Yeah.
Caricature.
Yeah, I understand the character Jesus, the Disney Jesus. I think, and the other thing that just got me, like, I like the art history, I like that, but I also liked seeing the picture, but I also liked the whole Rebecca Solnit thing, which I'm sure she didn't mean to do, but just the whole, I'm not going to say this, but, I'm not saying this, but, how Trump says, well, I'm not going to call her this, oh, you just did, like that sort of thing, where like, I'm not going to say this, but thing. All right.
The other thing I saw was it was a description of that picture is like it was something like two criminals being guided through New York, and I was trying to figure out what it was, and then I noticed that Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, is in the background there.
Wow.
And it's like, Jesus Christ. Again, Jesus Christ, there I said it. Right.
Don't
it's
take
just
the
like,
Lord's name in vain.
So, okay. So he's, first off, I know he's corrupt or whatever, but it's like, oh, is he a hero? Oh no, of course not, because what? He's corrupt and he's a black man. I'm just like, ugh, I hate everything. I hate everybody. I guess I am a misanthrope. I just hate. I guess what I hate is our. I hate.
Hate is a very strong word. You don't hate.
Yeah.
You don't hate
I
anything.
don't.
You're just hungry. You're probably hangry.
Angry.
What did you eat? What have you eaten today? Did you eat anything?
I did. I ate.
Oh.
So again, I'm as I announced at the end of last episode, is I've started eating dairy again. I'm no longer.
How's that going
vegan.
for you?
It's going okay. I mean, I'm definitely packing on the weight. Gained at least 10 pounds.
Really?
And what did I have? I had an egg sandwich this morning.
Did you have mayonnaise on it?
No.
Okay.
I haven't been eating mayonnaise. And then I had a burger bundle.
Oh God, yeah. You made the burger bundles. That was
lunch.
so cool. You should give that recipe. We have a question.
Ladies, get your pencils
Yeah,
out
we'll
and
do
your
that.
pen.
That should be the last thing you do is give that. You'll have to play the music.
I'm not happy with the recipe I followed. So.
It was great.
But it's
from
not
your childhood.
Yeah, but it did not taste like my childhood. So
Okay.
I need to get my mom's burger bundle recipe,
Um,
which is not her recipe. I don't think. I think it's like, because when I looked up burger bundles, there's like a lot of recipes. So it must have been. I'm trying to remember where I read it was in. I don't think it's a Joy of Cooking recipe, but.
Larry's here. It says, sorry I missed the last couple of RadioZero episodes. In case I missed it, I'm curious about Rose's critique of the new Dune series. I have one word critique for you, Larry. I figured it out. If there was a Letterboxd for TV shows, is there?
There is something.
I have to go on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But not letterboxed.
Okay. My critique is vile.
Vile. And yeah, Rose just doesn't understand that it's an HBO show, and so it's got all the characteristics of an HBO.
That's not. I watched.
Totally.
Isn't Succession a HBO? Was that an HBO
Yeah.
show? I watched
Yeah,
that.
they drifted a little bit.
Yeah. So all right, and it's possible. Okay, it's
HBO is not as much. Yeah.
Like what Lord of Thrones, what King of Thrones, Elf of Thrones. What is it? Game of Thrones. I didn't watch that. Okay.
Yeah.
I love Dune. I read all of the books from the 1980s through the 1990s. Okay, I didn't read Dune Foreplay or whatever like the new Dunes are. I haven't read the Brian Herbert can go fuck himself Dunes. I haven't read those. So I don't know what's new canon and stuff like that. But I was watching it. And people were doing coke. People were like putting something on their. It's like Caddyshack, like putting something on. It's like it's a fucking reference to Caddyshack. Now I kind of like it a little bit better. Do you know when who's it? Chevy Chase? Like at some point he pours like he's gonna eat lemon with the lady. He's sitting at the piano. He's drunk or something. He like pours a little bit of salt from a salt shaker on the top of his hand, and then bites into the lemon and like sniffs his hand because that's like a joke that it's coke or something like that. He sniffs it. This is what these people are doing in this show. They're like they pour something on the top of their hand and then they sniff it, and that's like a drug. Why am I watching people do drugs in Dune? And I understand, yeah, like when I like I'm straight edge, okay. I understand that I have a problem with drugs and I have a problem with alcohol. I understand all that stuff, right? But I didn't have like when I read Dune, I wasn't like, ooh, I want to get high on spice. I wasn't like, ooh, the spice is icky. I wouldn't get high on spice. Like I was just like, okay, spice is an important part. Like spice is their money. It's like a drug. It's like soma, right? Whatever. Sorry, I have to move. My knees are hurting. Yeah. Good enough for me. I was on the fence of watching it. You should watch it though, Larry, because you can see people's tits, horses, and drugs, like cocaine. It's so like, there was like all this having sex and stuff, and then like there's a couple of minutes of like the Bene Gesserit, like let's. It's like the beginning of the Bene Gesserit or something like that. So there's like a little bit of connections into the main, that's what, no one's read these books. That's why this show is full of horses and cocaine and sex, because nobody cares about the actual story of Dune. People care more about seeing tits and coke.
And that to me is that's HBO. That's
okay.
Game
All
of
right.
Thrones. That's
All
why
right.
it's happening. We got a Grimrock says hello from Pittsburgh, so we got at least 2 Pennsylvania hellos, and then
Nice. We're big in Pennsylvania.
Witness says Succession was brilliant. IMO. Yes.
Yeah. Is that Graham watching?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Succession was.
And
There was for
I also
me.
say Straight Edge Unite.
Straight Edge Unite.
So I don't know how long the delay is on this,
Wow.
because
Yeah.
I'm watching the video feed and it's
I'm
10 minutes delayed.
I'm straight edge, but I love that you all do drugs. That's totally fine. Anybody who wants to do drugs can do drugs. My kid can do drugs. Not a problem at all. I just don't do it. It's just not for me.
Grimrock says 13 years sober here, so you're preaching to the
Rock.
choir.
All right. Larry says that smashed avocado is a great substitute for mayonnaise. I want you to know that. And yeah, I mean,
I've been hearing what is it? Avocado and coffee. Those are going to go away.
Oh shit! I like coffee. I like
especially
avocado
like
too.
coffee, like the new. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
It's gonna be more expensive, but it's like kind of like with bananas too, weren't they saying bananas? Like all this
Celery,
stuff.
I thought was going to be expensive, and chocolate.
Yeah.
Chocolate was really going to be.
Chocolate,
This
yeah,
is
that
just
kinda
all
ties
the
into the coffee
inflammatory
thing,
stuff
right?
to make us hate the government, and I love the
To
government.
make us think that it's woke propaganda about global warming,
Exactly.
climate change.
So listen. So Larry,
There's not a problem. You know what? You can eat your oil-based avocado. It's great. My friend Elon's going to be growing oil-based avocado like
we need
crops
Trump.
on Mars.
We actually our Trump impersonator also had a new character, which was Fred Trump
Oh,
from
he
the
had-
dead, which is pretty
He's-
amazing. And
he's-
that sounds more like what I was saying. I sound more like Fred, the ghost of Fred Trump.
I just got something on my watch that says Dal Valentin. No, I'm not going down there to do a Trump voice.
Absolutely not.
Come
Just
on,
like
asshole.
preemptive. No. Yeah. No.
Larry, you should watch the. I keep trying to watch it, and then I fall asleep, and Rick is in the room. I'm like watching it, and I get mad, and then I fall asleep, and then I wake up again. And I'm like, and then I wake
It's
up
like
again.
the show is like I'm sitting there working on my computer doing stuff, it's just blurring the background, and for half of it it's like there's like a background sound in the show which is just and then all of a sudden
Is that me?
yeah, and then all of a sudden it's just like
No, listen. I fall asleep, and then I wake up, and then I'm like, God fucking damn it! I'm gonna have to fucking start this fucking episode over again. I'm not gonna know what happened, and maybe something could happen. And then I watch for a little while. And then like I'm like, oh, you know what? No, I think I know. I think I must not have been asleep for that long. I think I know what's going on. And then I'm like, good, thank God I don't have to start it again. And then I fall asleep right away. It happened like twice or three times during the last episode. I wake up and I'm like, shit, I'm going to have to watch it again. I'm going to have to rewind it, and Rick's going to laugh at me. And then, no, oh, okay, it's the horse is still there. All right, not
and
a
it's
problem.
like you'll wake up and you'll ask me what's happening, and I'm like,
No, that's just a joke.
I don't know.
What's happening?
All right,
And it's
Sarah
like,
Boyer,
I
plan on
could care less about what's happening with these women and their
Tits.
cokehead acolytes.
Yeah. On top of it, the
and,
acolyte.
What's his name with the shaved head?
I watched that. Wait, who's got the shade? Oh yeah, the
What's his name?
emperor.
Yeah,
Emperor.
I
What's
can't
his
remember
name?
the actor's
Sarah
name.
Boyer says, "I plan on spending my break disassociating." You do that. You disassociate safely, though. And then, all right, wait. There's something else that I wanted to talk about. the Star Wars children's show.
Goonies in space.
All right, so I watched that too. I'm like, I figure, okay, if I watch the Clone Wars, this is probably not going to be any, and I liked it. This will probably be fine. And so I'm watching it. That's what was happening. I watch a little bit of that, and I'm like, oh, I hate this. This is for kids. But then I'm watching it. This is, and then I was comparing it to the HBO show. I was comparing it to the Dune prophecy, because I was like watching it. I was like, okay, they're like in an ET sort of subdivision, But everything's a little weird. Like I got mad about the horse because in Dune because I didn't think a horse should look like a horse in Dune. This is a recap of last Radio Zero. There's ostriches in fucking Blade Runner, and they're ostriches. It's not like a horse. It's ostriches, right? It's weird ostrich.
This ostrich
weird, like
thing,
and snakes and stuff, but they're weird because they're mechanical snakes and stuff. Okay, so Larry's like, okay,
you convinced him.
Okay, well, after
Through all
that
that
interesting review, I'm sold. Just if you fall asleep, just like text me, and I'll wake you up, or Rick will laugh at you, or something like that. Oh, so anyway, so I'm watching the Star Wars show, and I'm like, see, this is different. At least things are a little bit different in the Star Wars show. And then what happened? Yeah, and then I got to the second episode, and I was like, I think I'm going to call it. I think I'm going to throw in the towel. And then something interesting happened.
Jude Law showed up.
Yeah, I kind of like Jude Law. He's kind of like you, except without a chin.
Yeah, I feel like Jude Law has a chin, and I feel like he might actually have a surgically implanted chin.
Yeah, I don't like his chin. I like your chin better. You should shave your beard.
Oh, no, I saw a picture from a a while ago.
Oh,
and
your
it's
chin
like,
is great.
No,
you should shave your beard.
Which one, I guess, is the question. Which
what,
chin?
Your beard?
Larry Mower Curly. I think I can name my chins. My trio.
The guy who I went to the eye doctor.
The three chins.
I went to the eye doctor, and this guy's beard was very close to me because he's the eye doctor, and he had little ornaments hanging off of his beard. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Yeah, I'm sure you would never do that.
Beard. Well, I don't have enough beard for ornaments.
What if? Yeah, you're probably right. Okay, where were we? All right, so
you know what's weird is what? I heard I was watching old Craig Ferguson late show clips. Again, funniest show ever, best talk show
Craig
ever.
Ferguson?
Yeah, it was amazing.
The bar is low though. You don't like those.
Yeah, but he was making fun of Jude Law as being like not being like being a wimp, which was weird. I don't think of Jude Law as being like scrawny.
The only Jude Law I know is he was in Existence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He was in Gattaca too, right?
Yeah, I guess he is kind of a wuss. Oh, he's in a wheelchair in Gattaca.
In Gattaca, right? He's a wuss in Existence.
And
that's a good
movie. He's a wuss in the Sherlock Holmes movies too.
I didn't look at those. Oh, Larry says that you do look kind of Jude Law-ish. Yeah, you're like he's yeah.
I think I got.
I'm
holding on to my hair a little more. He's definitely had some.
You're nicer looking than him.
He's got some hair.
I don't like his
extra
chin.
hair too.
I don't like his chin.
Well, I think he's had a little bit of work done. I think
like
he
a
changed a bit.
I like a man.
He's got
with
a pretty
chin.
prominent chin, though. He had a pretty prominent chin.
Well, before I liked it. Well,
I don't got a problem with Jude Law though.
Well, anyway, yeah, he showed. Yeah, that's okay. So no, the thing that was interesting. Spoiler alert! If you haven't watched, what is it? Star Wars Babies. Star Wars 2024
like
Goonies. Star Wars
Goonies
Babies.
in space.
All right, so turn off the Dude Law.
Spoiler alert for
Spoiler
Goonies
alert.
in space.
The kids, they find a spaceship. The spaceship takes them far away, and then people are and they have. There's something weird about their planet. Like they're like under. You kind of tell they're like under. Oh, Jude Law was in Captain Marvel. He was probably wussy in that too, because everybody was wussy in that, weren't they?
Did not see Captain Marvel. That's definitely.
Oh my God! We should make you watch that.
Oh,
no, it's not bad. You
it's
just
not
don't,
bad.
You don't like it because it's got a lady in it.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's not because of the plague of Marvel superhero movies.
Yeah.
It's not because
Skeleton Crew. Thank you, Larry. Okay, let me finish this. So they're on this planet and they're all studying to be like accountants or something, and you're like, why do they want to be accountants? That's kind of weird. Like, that's kind of wussy. And then the one hero kid is like, I don't want to be an accountant. I want to be an adventurer. And then at some point you look up in the sky and there's like a Skynet, like not Skynet, but there's like drones, like protecting, like there's like a protective covering over their sky.
Starlink.
Yeah,
satellites.
yeah. You're like, wow, what's that? And they're like, you can't go out beyond the barrier. Or something. They say something about that. Anyway, they get trapped in a starship that's buried in in the planet, and then they go, they go out past the barrier, and they're like, oh my God, we're past the barrier, holy shit, and they land on another planet, and they're like, we need to go home, we're just kids. And I read some kind of critique about it where they're like, hey, the kids are actually screaming when they go into hyperspace, and that's like a normal reaction you would have if that happened, if you were sitting in a starship and that you wanted to start into hyperspace. Anyway, wait. So they land on another planet, and people are like, they're like, help us get home. And people are like, okay, where are you from? And they're like, we're from Addis. And people are like, good joke. Where are you really from? And they're like, well, and then you're like, oh, they don't even know like the actual name of their planet. But then somebody says, you're not from the secret planet with all the secret treasure on it.
Secret treasure planet, right?
Been hidden. That's been lost forever. And then I was like, at that point, I was like, huh? Oh. It was like we were listening to Slint today because there's a copy of Slint. There's a Slint copy band. There's a new Slint copy band, and so Dow's. I'm like, it sounds like Slint, and Dow goes, I know. So yeah, Larry says the kid they call KB is the coolest character. Joe Chrisman says, I love when Rose gives movie Cliff's Notes, and Sarah Boyer says Darth Musk, which is funny. Anyway, we were listening to Slint, and it's bang, 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 ding, 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 ding. And I was like, yeah. And we listened to it for a while. It doesn't kick in yet, And I know that song like the back of my hand that doesn't have Coke on it.
You're drifting from your mic.
We're driving, and ding, ding, ding. And then Dow says right before, a great big path before the sky, that part, like right before that he goes, I don't think I like this song because it's just kept doing the same thing over and over again. And I waited and I went, like I got it right at the end, and he goes, oh, I like it. Where was I? Slint? How did we get to Slint from Skeleton Crew?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But we're well over an hour.
Yeah, but there's still people listening to us. It's kind of nice.
Whitney said bye.
Bye, Whitney. Yeah. I'm going to try to... that's the other thing is that I was trying to watch that and I kept falling asleep too. Maybe I'm not getting enough sleep. Well, I don't know how to...
Yeah, I don't know. It's like when I wake up in the middle of the night and then it's like there's a sun lamp. I'm like sleeping next to a sun lamp and there's just like a moon face. The classic.
Hey, you know what?
Like
the same thing happens
bright...
to me. You're on your phone too sometimes in the middle of the night.
No.
Yeah, you are.
No.
Oh, it might be the morning.
It's just like...
Yeah.
On your phone at like 3 a.m.
RadioZero mentioned you in a comment.
Brain bathing.
You know what? If I don't go on my phone in the middle of the night, how am I going to know like who else posted in the bass players forum?
Not good. Not healthy.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're done.
Wait. Oh, your burger. Do the noise and give us your burger bundles.
I don't have the burger bundles recipe.
Just tell us what's.
I'll make it again. I'm gonna try to make it again.
You can't even
get it closer to my.
Can you do the noise? Can you give a preview?
Damn, I always pick the wrong one. I'll have the ladies. I'll have the burger bundles recipe for you next episode. I'm gonna see my mom. I'll get her recipe.
Can you give us like a preview? Like what does it involve?
Burger bundles involve, well, in this case, using fake meat, and so stuffing. It's basically like almost like a Scotch egg in a weird way. Ground beef with a core of stuffing, and then typically covered with cream of mushroom. So I used cream of broccoli instead because I'm not a mushroom fan. But the thing is I would eat burger bundles with the mushroom. And so mushroom sauce on it. So yeah, they're basically balls of meat with a stuffing core covered in a a cream sauce.
That was what was weird to me, was the, like, when I bit into, since the meat is not real meat, it's probably got some stuffing in it, elements of stuffing in it. So it seemed like when I bit into it, like the stuffing was kind of the same texture. It just was like a little cranberry-y. So I was like, wow, this is interesting, but it was fantastic. It was great. It's kind of like an Amsterdam-y type food, right?
Yeah, like a
trucker ball.
Trucker ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely has
driving through
similarities. I should also just make my mom's Swedish meatballs recipe, which is different than the IKEA Swedish meatballs. I feel like the IKEA Swedish meatballs, maybe they do. I don't know. I haven't had IKEA Swedish meatballs. Yeah, no, I feel like IKEA Swedish meatballs are less creamy. And now I'm starting to think that maybe I'm confusing the burger bundles. No, I think my mom's Swedish meatballs recipe didn't have mushroom. Maybe it also
you better
had
look
mushroom,
it up.
cream of mushroom. Well, I'm just going to get a couple recipes from her. We talked to the reason why I made them was because she had burger bundles, and then we were talking about porcupines, which was another delicacy from my childhood, which is meatballs with tomato sauce and rice.
Jeffrey Davis says there's going to be a whole Radio Zero cookbook. There should be a Forced. I need to start up Forced again with Sarah. Like we had the best podcast with the best person, Sarah Garibaldi, and I miss it. Joe Christman says R.I.P. Night Shop.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to say about that. I'm very sad about it. A lot of people are sad about it. Larry says a video of Rick nodding off while watching Dune would be great for the poster children.
Oh, what was that?
Did you get electrocuted?
That was scary. Oh my God. Something's touching. Wow. I don't like it. Okay. Hopefully.
I think it's a bee.